if you have one of these and one of these, you can make one of these. However, don't worry. If you don't have one of these, but yet you still have one of these, you can still make one of those. You just can't play with the big flame outside.
I opted to make my own 5-spice here, but you could just as easily find it in your local market. I just wanted this to be good and fresh. The only tools you'll need to do this are a mortar and pestle, and a whole lot of elbow grease. You'll just add each of the 5 spices individually. I chose not to toast them, however you could toast them at this point. I figured since it's going in a wok over really high temperature, there's no sense in toasting them. You will just grind them until they're a fine powder. And here you have the fruits of your labor. Alright, our next item to prepare is the chicken. For that we're going to need 4 chicken thighs. We want to choose thighs for this because they're a little juicier when you cook them in a wok. What we do here is cut them into 1-inch thick strips and then cut those 1-inch thick strips into 1-inch cubes. Now that the chicken is chopped up, let's move on to the marinade. For that we're just going to need a large bowl and the following ingredients. Now that we have the ingredients for the marinade put together, let's go ahead and add the chicken to it and give it a good mix using our hands. Nobody's seen me drop that piece of chicken, did they? Don't worry, I'll clean the countertop later. Now just cover your chicken up and let it rest in the refrigerator for a couple of hours marinating. Now it's time to make the Kung Pao sauce. To do this, just as before, we mix it all in a large bowl using the ingredients you see on your screen now. A little tip to keep the hoisin sauce and the tomato paste from sticking like they did for me, just go ahead and give each of the bowls a little quick spray with some Pam cooking spray. Then it'll just fall right out. Now just give everything a quick whisk, and as soon as that's done, we'll head out to the wok. Now add 2 tablespoons of canola oil to the wok, and then give it a little swirl around to coat the sides of the wok as well. Alright, now we're going to add all of our vegetables that we cut up into strips. Usually in Chinese food, if it is in cubes, we cut it into cubes. If it's in strips, we cut all the vegetables into strips. That's just a little rule of thumb. Unfortunately, you can't see it, but I'm getting a really good wok stir on this, but unfortunately, I have the camera positioned incorrectly. Alright, now move all of your vegetables over to one side of the wok, and then dump a little bit of oil, more oil, there we go, and then dump your chicken right on top of that. What we're going to do is move those vegetables back on top of the chicken, and let that chicken sear on the bottom side really quick. Another wok toss that you can't see, unfortunately. I was actually having quite a hard time tossing the wok like this because the handle was getting so hot I couldn't hardly hold on to it, and I had forgotten to bring anything out to hang onto the wok with. What I'm actually doing here with the spatula is I'm kind of pushing down on the chicken to see how springy it is, to see how if we're done enough. And it was. So now we just add the sauce that we made earlier and close your eyes because it's gonna burn. I wasn't quite ready for those Szechuan peppercorns to get in there. Now after this cooks down and thickens up, we'll add the cashews in, give it one last stir, and we're ready to plate.